everyone, and welcome back to another episode here, Guitar Auctions at Gardiner, Houlgate in Corsham, Wiltshire, UK. For those of you who don't know, I'm Luke Hobbs, Head of Department and Auctioneer. We're doing something a bit different today. We do have a guest who is just to the side of me here as the camera goes round. This is Matt Owens, I guess, biggest claim to fame, bassist and writer in Noah and the Whale.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll talk about some other things that Matt's been up to recently as well. But before we get onto that, the hard copy catalogues are back from print. So you can get those by ordering them from the office. Of course, you can see the full catalogue online as well. And before we delve too much into it, please remember to subscribe to our channel, hit the like button and hit the bell icon. I think before the end of the year, we would really love to get to 10,000 subs, and we are so close. I think we are 1,100 subscribers roughly away. So let's do a big drive and get us to 10,000 for the end of the year. What a Christmas present it would be for us. We've got two more, this sale next week, and then we've got the December auction to try and get there. Let's see how we get on. But yeah, let's get into it. So as I mentioned earlier, I guess Matt's biggest start in music was Noah and the Whale. That was the big thing. Bass player. Looked a lot different then. I think you had long hair then,
yeah,
didn't you?
I've entered the witness protection program.
Yeah.
I had to move to Somerset. It was
excellent. Yeah, so yeah, that must have been pretty wild and yeah, good fun.
We got the two things about Noah. We got £100,000 worth of gear nicked twice.
Wow.
And we pretty much only played vintage gear.
Yeah.
So it got nicked, and then we were able to go across the States, waking up every day, going to the best vintage guitar stores in Chicago, New York, wherever we were, with a blank check twice.
That's incredible.
So
yeah.
That's where we were already into vintage gear, but like when you start to go, because Noah did 10 coast-to-coast tours, and we did Letterman and stuff, we were kind of bigger over there, or at least cooler than we were over here. Which,
yeah,
you know.
Well, I mean, you were huge over here. You know, you couldn't put the radio on without hearing you, and I was, you know, I listened to you guys a lot back in the day, so yeah, you were.
It was, but it was also, we'd always play vintage gear, so the guys had great stuff. Like Fred, our guitarist, was left-handed, so he had like vintage Les Pauls from the 70s that were left-handed, that went in the first hall.
Incredible.
And then we were able to kind of replace everything.
Yeah.
I played a B15 initially.
Nice.
So within 5 years' time, and it's just like, you know, you get up against everyone else who's on brand new Ashtowns and stuff, so, you know.
And P basses you used mainly?
I had the best instrument I've ever played was a 66 P bass that looked if Rory Gallagher had a P bass. It looked like Jameson's Funk Machine, but it was just absolutely ruined. It was super light. It was incredible, and I lost that, and it never came back. So.
Yeah. So in terms of gear that you used, I think one reason we've got you down here today is you have actually got some consignments with us.
Yeah.
So Matt has been a customer with us for quite a long time now. How long do you reckon you've been coming to the auctions?
I've been living out west for 7 years.
7 years, yeah.
I would have moved here anyway, just for if I'd known you were here. It was like the best surprise ever. When we're kind of like, where are we going to move to? I was like, okay.
Yeah, it was. It was
a lovely addition to my mother-in-law also being in Bath.
Yeah, of course.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But had I known.
But I do remember I think the first time I met you strolling across the car park, I was like, that's Matt from Noah, I'm sure it is. And then lo and behold, it was you.
There you go. There you go.
So anyway, we do have some consignments from Matt. One thing in particular that was used quite extensively with Noah and the Whale, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was used on it was the SVT that I bought off, it was Queen's bass tech at the time.
Yeah.
And he'd just done the Who, and I think he was with Pino, and he'd done he was talking a lot about the Who and Queen, and I think it was on the Queen tour they're on maybe, and then before that he was telling me it had been Zeppelins.
Wow. So the amp is over here, so should we have a
It was to replace the SVT that got nicked, and it did all of the old Noah stuff, did the whole of the fourth album.
Right. Wow.
Sounds incredible, and everything works on it, all the switches.
Yeah.
And I had a guy that was just like, do the switches work, and offered me pretty much £5,000 in cash a while back.
Yeah.
Because these things sound incredible, but you just don't. The cab is with Jesse Quinn, who now plays with Keane.
Okay.
And I kind of lent that to him a while back, just because, you know, I stopped regularly playing and touring bass and didn't have a tech anymore.
And
So
these are
you've got
heavy.
and these are heavy.
You need a tech
I had
for this.
I had a Galleon Kruger, and
Yeah.
So when I was doing bass stuff, I just had smaller stuff. But
Yeah.
I've kept this for a while.
But this was,
It's amazing.
World,
it's utterly
seen
incredible.
the world.
Yeah,
Yeah.
utterly incredible. It's just I'm not playing bass anymore. It'd be nice to keep it, but you know what my guitar collection's like. It's just not big enough.
Yeah.
So there's just not enough. There's just not enough amps.
And your guitar collection, I think one thing I love about your guitars, and I think particularly you coming down here, is you're not necessarily always after the mainstream as well. You're quite into...
No, and I think it's really like you guys being able to supply like really cool stuff that you can now do up, old stuff that you can now do up and sounds incredible.
Yeah.
You look at how expensive some of the new gear is, the new Fenders, the new, I don't want to call anyone out, but you know, I teach occasionally, and when kids coming in with, oh, I've bought this and it's brand new, it's a brand new, name that brand, it costs a lot of money, the pickup in it's awful, they're paying for the name, it's not well built, it's not a good instrument, and you can pick up like an incredible Framus from the 60s here and then put some Monty's pickups in it, and you've got an absolute machine for 350 quid. It's just like, well, why, you know, it's crazy.
Exactly,
and it's vibey and it works and it's, you know, it's a piece of history compared to, you know, spending £900 wherever on something that, some of it's great, some of the new stuff, but a lot of it, as we talk about, it's not fit for purpose, or at least not worth the price tag.
Yeah, and that's why it is great when you do come down, because suddenly it opens my eyes to some of this. I mean, I think a lot of our viewers and customers know that it's kind of like we just get blinded by the amount of stock that comes our way, so we don't
100%.
always see these things. So when guys like yourself come down and point these things out, it's quite fascinating. You're thinking, yeah, that really is a great guitar, and like I wouldn't normally consider that. And
well, I'm very lucky. I've got. I'll show you the board in a bit, but I've got some stuff by like Audio Kitchen, and I play a lot of. I either play very old stuff or I play very boutique stuff. And with the new amp, it's kind of from Black Vault. It's kind of a mixture of both. Yeah. But you know, Steve Crow loved the fact that I was taking kind of like an Audio Kitchen Big Trees to like on tours of Ireland and accidentally spilling Guinness on it. And you know, this is like for most people, like, you know, Flood or, you know, Nigel Godrich, it's a studio thing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
absolutely.
And then you can take it out and just, and it sounds incredible. It's got that kind of, it's kind of a bit of equipment I won't leave the house without.
Yeah,
you know what
absolutely. I mean? Yeah.
So it's working all this stuff together.
Yeah.
And you know, just getting the best out of it all.
Yeah, cool. So let's have a look at your rig. I think currently, you've obviously got your solo thing going on, Matt Owens and the Delusional Vanity project.
The Delusional Vanity project is still at large.
Yeah, which I've seen numerous times. I've heard a lot of great albums. How many albums have you done now?
4. We're going to go in kind of do a live best of in January, I think, which should be really fun.
Yeah,
just
wicked.
kind of play our favourite tunes and kind of bring them up to where they are now.
Yeah, good.
Which should be great.
And then you're also you're playing with our man in the field, Alex Ellis.
Yes.
Which I think that's quite exciting, isn't it? I think
it's been a crazy like last 6 months. I got invited in to play on the record in December that had Ethan Johns on drums and Nick Peeney on bass. It was produced by Guy Fletcher, who's Martin Offler's producer, at British Grove. And the last time I was in British Grove was for Noah's last album. Okay. So I got into I'd booked and been mates with Al for a bit, just because I loved his songs, and then he asked me to play on the record, and then I got asked to join the band in February. It's kind of a record with a 11-piece band, I think. You know, pedal steel, you know, cello, horns, it's amazing. And cut the whole thing live. There were some special guests added on afterwards, like Sonny Landreth, which was very excited for me. And I'm going to forget people, like P.P. Arnold sung on it. And yeah, so we've had a great summer. The records, we're just kind of shopping it with labels and management at the moment. We supported Neil Young this summer at Hyde Park.
That was a big...
That was big.
Huge, yeah.
That was a big
amazing
one for
thing,
me.
yeah.
And we opened the acoustic stage, and we've just done a European tour. Band's killer. It's great.
Well, the album is great. I have heard it. I was lucky enough to get I was actually quite blown away. So when the album, you know, is out there and fully going, make sure you listen to it. I mean, the production's incredible as well.
It's
it
an
blew me
amazing
away.
studio. Guys, like, so relaxed. Obviously, the players were, all immense. But I just don't know if people make records like that anymore.
Yes. Yeah.
Just cutting live play. I think a lot of the vocals are done live. Vocals are incredible.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Yeah.
So and some of the songs are really long because of that. They're like 6-7 minutes.
Well,
And we've
classic.
kind of left it in because
Classic Americana.
they just let me jam and solo
Yeah.
and stuff. So it's just like, yeah, this is great, man. This is really cool.
And you are fully invested in the Americana scene as well, aren't you? With the festivals you organise, and I mean, look, that's one thing with Matt as well, as he's been. Not only is he a top bloke. Oh, I'm going to start, really blowing your trumpet now, but Matt really is a great bloke. Nice to always have him down here. Really friendly, love chatting to him. Has a great collection, great history behind him with Noah and the projects he's doing, but he does do a lot for the Bath music scene as well. And you're always very unselfish, I think, and you really do push. You do really push. I mean, you've done more for the Bath music scene than anyone else, I think, personally. You're pushing all these local artists and getting people airtime, and I guess artists in your field as well.
It's very kind of you to say. It's the kind of thing that when I moved here, I think maybe it's just because you're from, as a Londoner, you can kind of see things slightly differently. But also, when I was a kid, I never had any help from anybody. There wasn't the things there are now, and no one was ever saying, hey, teenage band, why don't you come and play this festival? It was all very cloak and dagger, and it kind of still is with the music industry. Like, even though Noah got signed and sold 1 million albums hard copy, and you do all this kind of stuff, and you're like, well, in a weird way, how did that happen? And we're kind of doing it again now with our man in the field, and it's still mysterious, and it's still like, with putting on festivals here, when I was asking a lot of locals, we've got obviously amazing local musicians like Ethan Johns, and we've got people like Huey from the Fun Loving Criminals, and the guys from Reef and this kind of stuff. Often when you ask these guys, and girls, the biggest thing that they were saying is like, well, no one ever asks me to play. So you've got that coupled with the fact if it's going to be a grassroots thing, you need to get the kids playing. And you need to give them a platform, because otherwise, everything you're doing here, for example, I send people down the whole time because you want them playing decent instruments.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if they're playing decent instruments, they're more likely to play, and they need a platform to play, and then it's a whole snowball effect, isn't it? It's not rocket science, but if you want to if you actually want to have a thriving or surviving music scene, you need to look after it at kind of every rung.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's why what you guys do seriously is really important.
Yeah,
you can get great gear here, and I tell everyone about it, and you can get great amps here for cheap. Some of the stuff you get, you guys will do like 5-6 practice amps for 80 quid.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, suddenly that's affordable, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%.
And suddenly, there's loads of other places. Music Workshop do a great thing. The Bath Arts Collective. There's loads of people in Bath who want to do things, and I've been lucky enough to work with and help. But it's just, it's that. The other thing, I guess it's worth saying, because I could ramble about this for a while, but a lot of student bands, they don't want to necessarily play student nights, and I think that's the problem. So, and a lot of school bands don't necessarily want to play at school. Yeah. So we have a stage at Glastonbury, as you know, at the Love Fields, and which is now 3 stages. And on Wednesday we had on the Wednesday of Glastonbury we had like a local night. Yeah. Whereas, and I hate the word local music, but it was just basically musicians and young acts that live in this area. Yeah. And they would come down. We'd had everyone from teenagers who'd written their own songs for it to like bands like Lunar Lake and like BBC introducing artists from the West. Yeah, yeah. It was the best night of music. There was some really great stuff happening. And then again, once you're putting students and young musicians on a bill with like the Magic Numbers or Steve Craddock from Ocean Cousin or named acts, like that's much more exciting. Yeah, 100%. Than just playing in their kind of bracket or in their kind of age group. Yeah, and most of your most of these sort of I guess festivals and things you put together is under the Seven Hills name, all of them. So do check that out, Seven Hills. And I think one thing that you've recently been doing, which is quite cool, is the Roman baths as well. Which I never thought I'd see anything like that. Yeah, that was fun. And again, it's kind of a microcosm of what the Seven Hills did. We have local support, and then we'd have named acts that wouldn't normally play in a space like that. So,
Yeah.
you know, we had John Smith, who's obviously a phenomenal acoustic player. If you don't know John Smith, it was kind of Glastonbury themed. He'd obviously played the acoustic stage at Glastonbury the year before, and, you know, does really well everywhere, but Purbeck and everybody love him on all these established folk festivals. We had Hayden from Wild Beasts.
Yeah.
You know, we had some incredible acts just come down and kind of headline who you wouldn't normally see in that space or play that intimate a setting. It's probably the
wicked,
nice way of saying it. So that ran throughout the whole of the summer, and that was really cool.
Yeah, great fun. Yeah. Let's have a look at your rig. So there was some technical issues with the camera in the last clip, so sorry about that if you saw the camera moving a bit, but just sod's law, the first time we have a guest in, maybe they just don't, maybe it just doesn't want us to have a guest in, and they just want me, I don't know. But
it'd be more a sonic medium than a visual one.
Yeah.
Up until this point, I don't know.
Absolutely.
I don't know.
But I think we'll talk about some of Matt's gear. So we mentioned earlier that Matt likes to resto mod, I think one of the terms, players grade vintage, that kind of thing, and I think this is absolute prime example.
Yeah, I mean, you talking about it has probably made me realise I don't think I've ever had any guitar that, you know, I haven't mucked around with, and I don't know why you wouldn't. I don't understand people who are like, yeah, and it's exactly the same as it was when I got it out the shop.
Yeah.
Because you want different things. I've recently got into this habit, and this might lose the entire audience. I now the neck was almost beautifully done on this. And this is just natural wear.
Yeah.
There was a couple of bits of lacquer and paint on it, so I just took the rest of it off. And I just with like heavy than light sandpaper.
Yeah.
And I just can't.
It feels
go back.
great.
I can't go back on it, and it was pretty much there already. And that P bass I was talking about earlier had the same thing. I've done it to literally every one of my guitars. I just had a night, and the difference is just. But obviously, yeah, this was rare anyway. I got this in Monty's Guitars in London. This is a 1966 Viking.
Yeah.
Who I obviously had to name Thor.
Yes.
And I bought it the first time I ever got any money from Noah and the Whale.
Yeah.
I got a really good deal on it because we'd already had a load of gear nicked, I think, by that point. So we'd gone into Monty's and spent a lot of money on it.
Yeah.
And then over the years, so that it's the only Gretsch that comes with what these things are Powertrons, and they're more powerful than your typical humbucker. So it's somewhere between a Gibson anyway and a Gretsch, but they just sounded incredible. And then over the years, this is a Strat pickup that Matt from Monty's put in, and he obviously had to do this. I used to be in a rock and roll band. Little Mammoths only played the west coast of Ireland and the Scottish Highlands.
Amazing.
The year after Noah and the World broke up, and that was
you guys are great as well, though. Little Mammoths. Go and check Little Mammoths out as well.
That was a lot of fun, but that could have killed us all. And then this is a gold wrap that got added very recently, and that's the kind of. And now I kind of see. I'm not saying she's done, but she's pretty done.
Is that a Monty's pickup?
That's a Monty's one as well. And Matt just made, and if you don't know Monty's pickups, he hand winds everything. He does them for people like Clapton, and you know, everyone's got opinions on it. I think his stuff's the best I've ever played.
Yeah.
So all my stuff is Montified, as it were. And again, I do it because it's also I want a guitar that can be really versatile. Because if I'm flying out to America, or you know, I'm going, you know, there's only space in the car nowadays. With a band for one guitar, I want to be able to do everything on it. So, you know,
it's obviously seen a life with the
tape it's coming off here, and some people get again really fussy about it.
Binding rot, Gretsch binding rot.
Yeah, but and this is nice as well because
that's cool. Yeah,
you know, because they used to have big belt buckles, obviously. And I tell you what, it also had because it was a real mongrel. The Viking, it was kind of a proper rock guitar, and it had things like. You know, it's all eroded away now, but you used to. I mean,
the mutes,
I haven't seen the circle on many of them either. And
I think the last one we sold had the circle in there. Yeah, but
I've changed stuff in where that's got a kill switch. Yeah. Like if I'm not using all the knobs, then generally just out of habit because they were getting knocked. I once did a gig and the tone pot was on half, and I didn't realise why the sound was right. It was a long tour, and so I just take the ones off that I don't use anymore. It's been all the electrics have been modded as well by Monty, so I can get that sync on its own, that on its own, that on its own, all three on together.
He's the man to do it.
He is, yeah. But you know, it's So this is my main guitar.
Yeah.
And has been for a while.
And yeah, I mean, I've seen many of your other guitars, and I mean, even guitars you buy from us as stock, it's usually only 2 weeks until they're,
Well, if you don't like again, it's bad advice. And when I was growing up, there wasn't even a guitar teacher at my school really, and no one was giving you any good advice about any of it.
Right.
And I was told one bit of advice I was given is you can't never change anything on a guitar. So I had this Strat that, I don't know if you've seen my Super Strat now, but it was a Strat Deluxe Plus. And my playing doesn't suit a Strat Deluxe Plus. It was like very clean looking. I was really lucky. It was my dad bought it for me, and it was my first ever guitar. So in many ways I was totally spoiled. But like, again, it was from 1983, and it's obviously a very different beast. I was trying to play Neil Young then on it, and that didn't really work at all. So, and I was told like I can't change anything on it, and it's absolute nonsense. So if there's one piece of advice, if you don't like something on it, whether it's the string gauge, the action, the pickups, the sound, if you like one good thing, it's a bit like songwriting.
Yeah,
if there's
absolutely.
one good thing about that, demolish the rest and just stick with that.
Well, that's it. Yeah, I mean,
so,
you've got to make it work for you at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And not every guitar's going to be perfect, is it?
No, and hopefully, because now I've changed it and massively lowered the resale value, no one will nick it, because it's not a pure 1966 Viking anymore, is it?
Unless you become ultra famous, but then it will be, a scene guitar, and what would be the point?
Well, 10,000 guitarists have now seen it's mine.
Exactly.
So hopefully that means, the thief's probably watching this now.
Yeah. So if any of you see this guitar not in this man's hands, then there we go.
It's basically a mixture of the best of new and the best of old.
Yeah.
Which is basically my theme for a lot of this stuff. So on the board, this is the Audio Kitchen Big Trees, which if you go all the way down, it's I remember reading about Neil Young's Wizard back in the day anyway, which it's a control board that sits on top of his the amp, so you can literally, when you want valve overdrive, it turns everything up to 10 or whatever. Okay. And that there's a load of valves under that orange thing, so when you want valve overdrive, that's what you get.
Yeah.
And it's my equivalent of Tom Waits' Closing Time as a piece of. I don't leave the house without it.
Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of people that. I know a lot of people that use them and swear by them, and they're the same as you. They just can't. And can't not.
I mean, this is good. This board's going to make people cry if you're into at least 2 or 3 boards, like some.
Yes.
And it's pretty minimalist, and it's also going to make the man Tom Cundall, who built it for me, cry, because it's not finished yet, and I keep it appallingly. So I apologise, Tom. This isn't a good representation of his work, but he recommended the Zoma to me, which is
I've never heard of one of those.
Incredible. Yeah, that's an incredible Verb plus with tremolo, and you can get kind of 3 different kinds of tremolos in there. This was built as a one-off by Monty's Guitars. It's actually a boost, but it's kind of an EQ as well, and it just makes everything beautiful and sparkly and gorgeous. This is the Small Trees, which it's got a valve in it, so it's an actual valve boost. So it doesn't change the sound, but it still holds the character and tone. Yeah. So whether I'm on clean or whether because sometimes they sound squashy, and sometimes they just not. And this is a company called Drybell, and I don't use much compressor. I'm learning how to use it, if I'm honest.
I've never got my head around them myself. But
no, I was really encouraged to use it, and I think the thing is, I'm using a bit of slide at the moment, and it really helps for that, or if you're being particularly strummy and you're going between certain parts. Yeah. It's an interesting effect, but I am in no way, some people are real masters of that kind of stuff. I like to play really dynamically.
Yes.
So I play heavy strings. We've just recently got endorsed by Stringjoy, which is really cool, because I haven't been endorsed by a string company for a very long time.
Big old gauge 12s I think you use on that as well. Yeah.
And this is a colour driver, which is basically just nuts. It's just one of those things that just reacts really well. We've got a track called No More, and when I need to go kind of a bit mad,
that's the one.
That's the one. You kind of hit it and just run for cover. That's good.
I think it's
worth it just for the look of it. Just for the look of it. You're like, what's that?
But then talking about looks, I think the thing behind you is your new...
yes, and you've got to get in the back of it as well, because this is the great... Okay, so my history with amps, I've always played small vintage combos. So I've got this, I picked it up for £100, which is outrageous, but it was a 56 Epiphone pacemaker.
Right.
That Steve Crow did something to from Audio Kitchen, I don't know what, and basically it's the greatest amp in the world.
Yeah.
And I used to put it on stage and it would just smoke everything. It's just so loud, sounds
Right.
incredible, especially with this girl. And I've got a Watkins Winchester. The trem is amazing.
Is that the one that came from us?
Yeah, I think
yeah.
it came,
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
no, it came from Ed from the Shed. I've got another one from you.
Yeah, that's right.
That was
yeah.
similar. But then these guys, well, Black Volt now supply the backline for the Chrome Dreams band, Neil's band.
Neil Young, yeah.
And they're made out in California. Gio, the guy that makes them, is just an utter genius. He selects and he's so passionate, and he selects all the woods. You've got to get in the back and have a look at it. It's the first, with the serial number 001.
It's number one.
It's the first of the Crazy Horse reverbs that he's ever made.
I just love the carpet in the back as well for the.
It's just
the
you know
reverb
what?
tank,
It's just
yeah.
the love, isn't it? It's just the love and the consideration and everything about it.
And these big knobs, are they like?
Apparently they're from a submarine.
That's just.
But
I mean,
I was told that very late at night. So
even if it's not cool,
and I've never met
true.
the man,
It's cool.
but
Yeah.
I plugged into it and played it, and I was just like, oh wow,
Yeah.
this is different gravy. So I took this on the European tour we just did with our man in the field. I did it supporting in the videos of Neil Young. You could actually crept backstage illegally to see the back line at Neil at Hyde Park, and the bass rig that the guy Corey's got is just beautiful. It's like, and it's all very idiosyncratic, and it's just like wow.
Yeah.
And he does guitars as well. And his guitars.
Oh, okay.
And he does it to the exact same caliber. So if you should get you guys to check out all his stuff, because I want to get he does a Firebird, which he calls the Raven, and he just again selects the woods. It's just the craftsmanship. If it's a fraction as good as the amp.
Well, the cabinet looks. I mean, especially with all the detailing
gorgeous,
here and
isn't
how
it?
it's put together, it is.
It's gorgeous.
It looks lovely. I mean, actually, when you played it earlier, it's yeah. I mean, it made me smile hearing it actually.
And it's funny, isn't it? It's just like best of old meets the best in new. And for me, when we're touring and stuff, I wanted some. The old amps are brilliant, and I love them to bits. And Touchwood, I've actually been really lucky with them, but you just want something that's reliable. A lot of them, the way the valves sit in the back of them.
You're very much a valve man. Yeah.
I wouldn't play anything that didn't have valves, but you're just like, is this gonna last a long journey? Is this gonna last a tour? So this is the new way forward.
Well, we will see. Hopefully, it will last for a while.
I mean, until it gets nicked. But again, at least we now know the serial number, and it's been
that's
it's
It's well documented.
It's well documented now. So
Yeah, good. Well, I think we should.
Well, shall I play you some stuff?
Yeah, I think we should.
I'll
hear
play
it.
some stuff I've been working on, and then you can then you can hear it.
So there we go, ladies and gents. Thanks for joining us today. I hope you enjoyed this being something a bit different with our guest. Hopefully we'll do more of this in the future, with other guests and Matt again. That'll be a cool thing to do. Hope you've enjoyed your time down here.
I always love it.
Yeah.
It's great. And thanks for letting me in.
Yeah,
it's the field of dreams. It's absolutely fine.
Field of dreams. Yeah, I do. I think that is the term I nick quite a lot from you. You were the first person to say it. So this is Matt Owens' Field of Dreams.
Every time I post, I get inundated with that I've been here. I get 20 people going, "Where is this? Where are you, mate? Where are you?" Because all my mates are all tragically guitarists, and it's where is this place? How do you not know?
But yeah, always great to have Matt. So yeah, thanks Matt for coming down. So 9th to the 12th of September, of course, we got one of Matt's amps in that he did use of Noah in the Well. So bid big, and then Matt can hopefully have some proceeds to buy more stuff from us. But yeah, great amp, great history. Check out the catalogue online. Hard copies are available, and yeah, we are on a quest to get to 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So please do subscribe, hit the like button, all that kind of thing. Thanks for joining us today, and we will see you at the auction next week.